as Jeremy said, free tickets for the reserves, even better. Thank you very much.
Cameras for that, great pictures we've been getting all week on One Box TV. Three will go to the far right. I think that's where the push crew is for that.
DRM gets a mention again. I've worked with DRM for many, many years now. Thank you very much indeed for everything you do, DRM, for the Armed Forces Covenant, promoting that, but also the Employer Recognition Scheme. What you do is fantastic, making sure you trumpet what we do and making sure you raise awareness out in the public about what the Reserve Forces do for UK PLC and Defence. So thank you very much indeed. Airbus, Jeremy, I've got to thank you. It's your idea, and it's a Airbus hosted event, not an Airbus event, but it's your idea to put this together today, to have a reserves day, and of course we will take any opportunity to make sure we raise the profile of reserves in any forum we possibly can, so thank you very much indeed for doing that for us. Thank you, Jeremy. And my last thank you before moving on, obviously, is the reservists. It's Reserves Day today, and it would be remiss of me not to thank the reservists. What you do for Defence, UK PLC, your commitment balancing family, work and the military is truly outstanding, and nobody underestimates, I can tell you, how difficult that is. So thank you for your commitment, thank you for what you do, whether it's Iraq, Afghanistan, the Balkans, COVID on rescript most recently, or the Olympics some years ago. You are never found wanting when the question is asked. So thank you very much indeed for your service. Thank you. Right, reserves, all three services, and I can't, by the way, profess to speak or have the authority to speak on behalf of all three services in StratCom, but I would hope what I'm about to say now they will not demur from, because I think what I'm about to say applies to all three services. All three services are going through a significant transformation, as indeed their regular colleagues are. It would be perverse if the regulars were changing and we were not changing. We are changing as well, and all three services have programs in place to generate that transformation. So, for example, the Royal Navy has in the Maritime Reserve Directive Project Hegarty, the Army Future Soldier through Project Embankment and Castle, and of course the most exciting of all, ladies and gentlemen, the RAF with Astra, which is the journey to the next generation Air Force 2035-40. All of those things are happening to ensure that the reserves remain relevant, capable and usable. Relevant, capable and usable. It has to be easier to use reserves. That's what the common thread, if you like, across all those three items. You will be aware of IOPSI 25, Integrated Operating Concept 25. You're using reserves routinely, not necessarily the reservists routinely, and that's something I know when I talk to my colleagues in the other two services and StratCom, they feel the same. And why are we changing? We're changing because there's fixed costs, variable costs, reserves are variable costs. Churchill said when we're running out of money, we now need to think. There's a lot of thinking going on in defence now, I can tell you. And of course, I just mentioned IOPSI 25, which is, if you like, the handrail to change. And finally, the Armed Forces Covenant. It's worth, before signing, just to understand how we got to where we are and why we are where we are. Defence is changing. There's a lack of money going around and we need new skills. It's as simple as that. So there's a real imperative, a burning platform to make sure that we transform our reserves. So we need to make sure, looking at all the actors available to us, the regular reservist, otherwise known in common parlance now, the strategic reserve, reservists, industry, contractors, civilians as well. We need to make sure we understand who is in what is now called the whole force, who is best able to deliver capability. Of course, the common denominator, ladies and gentlemen, across all of those actors is talent, and there isn't enough of talent to go around for everybody. So we need now as Defence to share, to partner with people like Airbus, people like ADS, people like Farnborough. We need to partner with people like that and others to make sure we're sharing the talent. So it looks something like this. If you're a regular, we want people to join the regular forces knowing and confident that at the end of their service, whenever that is, they can come back into society, back into the employment market, and people will recognise the values that they bring to defence and to wider community. But equally, a reservist joins